new revenue streams or better revenue streams, how you can grow and scale what you have. And you won't believe what we're talking about today. Before I do that, right, for everybody coming in, do me a favor, drop your name, drop where you're from below. If you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, drop your business. I want to know what kind of business you have, because in a second, I'm going to bring on our special guest today. And like I said, today's conversation is a little bit different. If any of you have watched Netflix recently, you've seen the phenomenon going on that is Netflix. There we go. Victoria said, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, right? You guys have seen the storm that's going on Netflix. I think it was 34 million people viewed one of Netflix's newest programs all in the first 10 days. I'm going to repeat myself. 34 million people in the first 10 days watched this. And what is that thing called? That thing is called Tiger King. Have any of you guys seen Tiger King? If you've seen Tiger King, do me a favor. Drop a comment down below. I want to know who you are. And if you've seen it, are you guys actually familiar with it or not? Because today, believe it or not, I have a woman on the line here. She's part of our Traffic Sales and Profit community that actually created products for the Tiger King. Yes, today she's talking about how she made products for the Tiger King. We're going to break down what you can actually learn from the process. You saying, Lamar, it ain't a daggone thing I can learn from the Tiger King. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We're going to break that down today in just a second. I see y'all coming through. There we go. Malika said, I was so confused, but I kept watching. Angela said, I need to watch it. Never seen it. There we go. My man Theo in Inglewood, hashtag Tiger King, right? It definitely was a conversation, guys. It definitely is a show. It will confuse you. It will excite you. It will ignite something inside of you. All of that all at the same time. So let me bring on our guest, guys. We're going to, I'm telling you who she is. Let me give you a little bit of background information about her. Then we'll bring her on so we can kick off this conversation. And yes, you can learn from the Tiger King himself. All right, today we're joined by Melody Bockelman. She's a highly respected beauty brand expert, a business coach, and owner of Private Label Insider. Her clients have been featured on Evine, QVC, HSN, Whole Foods, Targets, and their products are for sale on Amazon, as well as in national retailers and niche boutiques across the country. She has been featured in Birdie, Beauty Independent, and the Business of Fashion. Melody is the go-to business coach for beauty startups and aspiring beauty entrepreneurs to help them launch their own beauty brands, including skincare, hair care, body care, and makeup lines. She has more than 15 years collective experience in private label industry. We'll talk about what that is if you're not sure what it is, and uses her knowledge and resource to help her clients succeed. She helps future entrepreneurs navigate everything from manufacturing and packaging to marketing and sales. Some of her classes include her signature, the Beauty Brand Bootcamp, how to create a product line in 90 days or less, how to create a product line that sells, and how to create a DIY skincare line. She also offers a monthly mastermind membership and private coaching services. To learn more, you can visit PrivatLabelInsider.com. You can find her on Instagram at BeautyBizExpert, and we'll dive deeper into something. I heard she may have something for you guys that she brought along as well. We'll tell you about that and pull you into that in just a second, guys. But last thing I'm going to say before I bring her on, tag a friend. This is a conversation. We were just talking beforehand. If you talked about Tiger King with any of your friends, with your family, you watched it with your boo, tag them, get them on here, right? This is going to be a great conversation. If you have an entrepreneur that shoulda, coulda, woulda been doing something, right? Or you're trying to figure out, how can I build a business right now? Maybe I don't know what to sell. I don't have something to sell. This is the conversation for you. Make sure you tag a friend, get them here, give us some emotions, give us some hearts, some likes, all that kind of stuff so Facebook can let more people see it. And without further ado, let me bring on my very good friend, Melody Bockelman. Hey, Melody, what is going on? How are you today?
Hey, Lamar. I'm so good. Thanks for having me on today. So crazy we're talking about this.
Yes, it is so crazy, right? This is not a conversation I saw myself having 2 or 3 days ago. But here we are. We are here, right? And Mel, let's talk about how we got here. What's interesting is that you had not seen the Tiger King show until what? Was it this weekend, yesterday, day before or something?
Last night. It was last night at like 9 o'clock. I was watching the show. I was like, oh my God.
and just tell the people what happened. So you're watching the show. I guess you probably heard the buzz about it. You're watching the show, and then kind of walk us through what happened.
Yeah, so I don't watch a lot of Netflix. So I was watching the show, and on episode 1, I saw his store and I saw his products. And I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that guy. And I had to finish the season, of course, right? Because I got in the mastermind and I was like, hey, have you guys seen this? And apparently there's a lot of people have watched it, 34 million, as you said. But I didn't know. So it was surprising to watch the show and see all of these products that we had developed together on his shelves. But it was cool. It was really cool to see.
All right. All right. So when people hear this, right, and they saying like, wow, like you working to develop this, do you remember anything about them? Because this is a while ago, right? Let's talk about like how long ago was it? You remember anything about them? You saw the products on the shelves, and I got some images. I'll put those up so you guys can see them. Anything you remember about the actual process?
Well, so it's interesting, right? We work with a lot of clients, and so you never know who someone really is until, you watch a Netflix series about them. But it was an easy process. I remember the biggest thing I remember about him is one, he was very kind. Like there was not a lot of drama like what you see on the thing. That's why I was kind of surprised by the whole series. And then two, he was just really more about the animals, or at least in our conversation, it was all about his zoo and giving back to the animals. And this was just a way to raise money in their store to make sure that they, could support their animals, because feeding cats is expensive. So I was trying to think back when we did this. I think it was maybe 2010, but it could have been between 2010 and 2012. Been in it for a minute. But it was a fast and easy process with him. He's a seasoned businessman, so it wasn't like convincing someone to go into business, basically.
All right, so let's dig a little bit deeper into this, because I know somebody is saying, well, the dude deals with tigers. How in the world did he create a skincare brand? All right, and this is when you come into play, because you are a private label insider. But for people that don't know, like, what is private labeling?
Sure. So private label, the simplest thing is you're taking a manufacturer's product and putting your label on it. Sometimes it's called white label, sometimes it's called own label, but basically you're taking a product that's already tested, that people know exists, and you just put your label on it. And as you can see, I don't know if you've showed the pictures yet, that's all he did. If you guys have seen the show, that's all he did was put his label on a private label product. And it's interesting because, right, he's got a zoo. Why would you ever think you need a skincare line or a lube line? He had a lube for women and a lube for men. And I remember when he was selecting his products, I thought that's odd, but we never discussed like his sexuality or who he was or any of that kind of stuff. So it makes sense after watching the series now.
All right. Hey, guys, if you're just joining us, again, my name is Lamar Tyler, creator and founder of Traffic, Sales, and Profit. We help entrepreneurs drive more traffic, convert more sales, and grow the amount of profit in their business. I'm here today with Melody Bockelman. She is the founder, owner of Private Label Insider. She is the Private Label Insider, right? And today we're talking about lessons, right? We're talking about the fact that she created actual products that were shown on the show, Tiger King, years ago. She stumbled across the show, right? And then said, hey, you know what? I did those products. I remember that, right? But then we also got some lessons on what you guys can learn from the actual process. But I did want her to just talk about what private labeling was before we jumped into what the actual lessons are that you can learn. Because, Melody, you said that there actually are some teachable moments and some things we can learn from Tiger Joe, right?
Yeah. There's definitely some things that I think a lot of business owners need to consider is that, like, he had a zoo, right? So why would he sell skincare? He chose skincare and lube because he knew his audience's visitors were women. It was a perfect upsell. It was branded with his label and his face and all of his other branding on it. So when they left the zoo, maybe they were on vacation or it was a trip, they had something to take back with them. Right. So
I like that.
That was definitely lessons. Definitely, thinking outside of like, I'm a zoo, I just need T-shirts. He thought broader than that, which I thought is really interesting and, something a lot of business owners should do.
Yeah, and so I'm sure we have a lot of viewers that have women in their audience, right? And they might already have a tribe or a community. They're trying to figure out how to monetize. What can I monetize? What is it that these women want, need, or willing to buy? That could be definitely an option for them, correct?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, and what we're seeing a lot of right now is that pivoting, right? Is to think like, okay, well, my audience is women or my audience is men. What are all the things they need? Because he sold, underwear, T-shirts, skincare. He kind of hit everything. And I think we think, oh, we're just this is our lane, and we stay there. But really, they could open it up quite a bit more. So that was one.
I love it. All right. So what other things, what other nuggets can we learn from the Tiger King? This is an interesting conversation. I just got to laugh as I keep going. This is an interesting conversation. I did not know my Saturday was going to go this route at all.
Did you put the picture up yet of his products?
Yes, I did. I put it up. I can throw it up again too.
So I want to talk about that. So a lot of times when people are looking to create a brand, especially skincare, hair care, makeup, they're like, it's got to be my formula and I've got to spend all this time in development because custom development takes a long time. But the reality is that he knew Tiger King knew that his biggest thing was to get to market quickly. And so speed to market was really, really important to him. And what was more important than like creating those formulas from scratch or making them completely unique, because that's stock packaging. Like if you guys ever look for any products in the marketplace, that's very common packaging. What he has up there is not even high end. What was the most important thing to him was that it was branded well. And branded well to him just meant consistent with everything else. And I love that about his labels. I definitely remember looking at his labels thinking that is the oddest thing ever for women's skincare. But, I don't judge labels. So definitely understanding that it's not the process, it's just getting it out there. That was really important for him.
I love it. I love it, guys. Let me know if y'all are getting any nuggets yet, right? You're getting some nuggets dropping down in the comments. So let's talk about this, because you talked about the fact that he made it and he got it out. So when we're looking at private label, I want to create a private label beauty product. What's the shortest amount of time I could expect? If I say I want to get started today, what's the shortest amount of time I should realistically expect to be able to actually get a product in hand that I can begin selling online somewhere?
For brand new to business, people 8 to 12 weeks. Mostly because you're going to go back and forth with the logo development, the naming. Like there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. Because he already had a brand and he already had a storefront, that wasn't new for him. I think he got out in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I will say in COVID, there's a little difference in the manufacturing in the U.S. and China right now. So you want to give yourself a little bit more time, but you definitely can still get to market, 8 to 12 weeks if you're new, and then, 3 to 4 if you're an existing brand. And the manufacturers are open.
This is good. Hey, Melly, I don't know if I ever told you. This is a story for another day if I didn't. But I'm going to have to tell you that we had a limited run Black and Married with Kids lipstick. Did I tell you this? Have I told you the story? Yeah. We called it BMWK Love. We did it one year for Mother's Day. But that's a story for another. I just literally thought. I saw it in the office one day, and I meant to tell you. I wasn't sure if I ever actually told you or not. But that's a story for another day one day.
That's funny.
Hey,
but see, that's a good example of adding on to your audience. You have women in your audience.
Exactly.
How'd they like it?
They liked it. Yeah, it went pretty well. We were doing a whole bunch of other stuff at the time, so it wasn't something we wanted to go deeper into. But hey, we might need to revisit that and circle around, because guess what? Those women are still in the audience, right?
Yes, that's right.
All right.
They're still there.
Okay, so what other nuggets can we learn from the Tiger King and about this process of what he actually did?
So I think it's really interesting because he didn't take very long to get to market, but he did bring a lot of different products out there. So if you have the picture, there was like probably maybe 5 to 7 SKUs that he brought out. A SKU is just a stock unit, but it's the one product, different products. It's full skin cares and a full like a feminine lube and a male lube. And he tested the waters with all of them, so he didn't buy a ton of inventory, and I think that was really important. So even though he was a known brand, even though people came to his store, he bought a lot of products, but only like 12 units or 24 units to start, to make sure that they were actually selling. And I think that's a really good strategy that a lot of new entrepreneurs don't consider.
I think that is excellent, because I think a lot of times people get so stuck on one act, like this is what we're going to do, what we're going to sell is going to go crazy, and then if that one thing doesn't sell, they got a whole garage full of it, and then they kind of just stuck with it, right? And even more than just being stuck with it, I think a lot of times mentally that does something to people, and it's like it's kind of slows them down or makes them kind of feel defeated before they even get a chance to really get out there.
So I don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to own the water bottle store. And in college, when I was at Howard, I would support myself by going to Eastern Market and selling water bottles on the weekend. And so we were on Oprah and our business took up, and I bought like $20,000 worth of water bottles. That was in 2005 or 6. I still have water bottles. Like, I'm still traumatized from Econ. So I totally feel you.
See, y'all,
I'm not trying to get back in that game.
Melody, she literally is the private label insider. She's been doing this for a while. We got Oprah stories. We got Tiger King stories, like all of it, right? It's one big circle of how it works. And, I saw Bradley down the comments he said 2 to 3 months for product creation is nothing. He said, wow, this is definitely something to look into for anyone looking to expand. And that's true, right? I mean, that's like no amount of time almost to get something out and to get out. But that's the beauty of private label and a white label on a product. And also, one of the things that I love to hear you talk about, I've heard you talk about in the past, Melody has spoken at our TSP events, and I'm sure she'll speak again in the future TSP events. One thing you talk about is the fact that I think a lot of times people think you're getting lesser quality. But you've gone into major retailers, you've gone into drugstores, and seen major brands or celebrity brands, and they're the same products that you see behind the scenes these companies are doing. So it's not necessarily a knock on the quality of the product, correct?
No, not at all. It literally is all the same. And to your point, I was with the manufacturer maybe in February when we were in Vegas, and this manufacturer was making 2 different brands, NYX and Morphe, and then a whole bunch of esthetician and skincare manufacturers. So it was all the same products. It was just totally branded differently. And the quality has nothing to do. As a matter of fact, private label to me is stronger quality because it's been tested, it's been proven. They've done all of the repeat insult patch testing. They've done all the packaging testing so you don't get packaging fails. It's just a stronger product. So I always recommend at least coming out with the private label to start and then maybe customizing as your brand grows. I mean, now, of course, people are probably, in the comments talking about why I make my product, and we can talk about that too.
So, hey, I got the other side of the question because our good friend Brandy Woods. What's up, Brandy in Houston? Brandy is saying she has a list of products and would love to white label. Is it a good idea, or is that something people should consider actually white labeling their own products and getting it out to other people?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's actually a couple people in our mastermind that do that, and it's a really good idea. If you have products and you have capacity to fill, then I would do it. The only downside to it is that if your business is thriving and it is something that's kind of a headache for you, I wouldn't do it. But if that's part of your business plan, then yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a shortage of white label products that are easily available for people. So yeah,
awesome.
We need more manufacturers.
I love it, guys. And again, if you're just joining us, my name is Lamar Tyler, creator and founder of Traffic Sales and Profit. We're here today with the private label insider, Melody Bockelman. She's talking about how she actually created products for the Tiger King. They were private label products, and she's talking about some lessons that you can actually learn from Tiger Joe. Some stuff you can pull in from him and that you can begin to implement in your own business, because if he was able to do it, hey, guess what? You can do it too. All right. So Melody, we've gone through a few of these. You got any more tips or any more lessons we can learn from the Tiger King?
I mean, from the Tiger King, I definitely think that, making sure everything's on brand is super important, because those people who bought those products took them home and will always remember that experience with him. So one thing a lot of times people will say was, well, I just want to be a distributor, or I just want to wholesale someone else's brand. And a lot of times that's because they don't understand the process of creating products. But I think having your own is the biggest thing. We saw him branded everywhere, his billboards, his T-shirts, his everything. I think that's why he was so well known.
That's definitely a great point. Hey, guys, if you got questions for Melody, do me a favor, drop them down to the comments below. We'll go to questions in just a minute. And beside that, Melody, it's just like for anybody watching, right, we talk kind of offline a little bit. This is just a dynamic time for you to look into growing your econ business or to building a brand new econ business, because everything has kind of shifted because of all the things going on in the marketplace the last few weeks in the economy. Everything has kind of shifted. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh, my thoughts are that it's never been a better time than right now to be in e-commerce. I mean, maybe 2015, 2016 was amazing too, but this is probably going to beat that. I mean, think about it. Nobody's leaving their store, right? We might make a Target run, but we're a lot hesitant about it. But more than likely, we're shopping online. What the statistics are saying is that beauty particularly is going up 147% on e-com sales, which we see in the mastermind.
Yeah,
we see a lot of.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Like Melody's one of our TSP Mastermind members, and in there, it's like the ecom companies are rocking. When I say rocking, y'all, I mean they making me rethink what I'm doing out here in these streets. Right, these ecom companies are killing right now. And Melody, this is what I was saying to somebody the other day. I was having a conversation about just what's happening, and I was saying like e-commerce grows every year anyway. But what I feel like this has done is maybe pushed us 3 or 4 years ahead of where we would be. You know what I mean? I think we've kind of jumped from 2020 to maybe where we'd be in 2023. And even it's caused like some of the companies, right? Some of the infrastructure has probably advanced a little bit or sped up to get things done, right? Some of the we saw yesterday with Facebook. Facebook had a product that basically was a competitor for Zoom and GoToMeeting and all this other stuff they've been sitting on. But, with everything going on, they said, all right, it's time to roll this baby out. Who knew when they would have rolled it out? But they're saying, hey, it's time to roll it out. So between infrastructure, between the way people use and still leverage the internet, right? We still not the growth of the internet is not at its peak. We're still growing into it. So I think more people are using it. More people are ordering online still. More people are going on. Still a lot of people that normally get the things they get from retail now shopping online. And I was in that conversation the other day. I was telling somebody, like, once you get used to buying something online, it's hard to go back to getting it in the store.
Right.
So
that's facts.
Definitely.
And I find this interesting, right? Like, we're getting an influx of international customers. So people that are in China, that are in Sweden, that are all over, that want to build products for the U.S. to sell and set up their entire business here while they're living abroad, because they know that what they're going through ahead of us, 3-4 months ahead of us, that's what we're about to experience. And they know we have the disposable income. Well, some of us do, but they know it's a growth market. So I think that everybody in the TSP, if you guys have been considering a product, doesn't matter where it is, beauty, skincare, t-shirts, anything that we can't get at Target or our local Walmart, you should be buying, creating, and putting online as fast as possible.
That is excellent. Hey, I had a question, guys. You got questions, drop me down below. Hey, Bradley had a question. He said, is this whole concept essentially like Kellogg's cornflakes versus just regular cornflakes in a bag? Basically, same product, or two products, but just multiple people kind of branding and selling those different products?
Yeah, so that's a good question. What he's talking about is called own brand. So like when you go to the grocery store and you see the Kellogg's and you see the store brand, it's a little different. It's not positioned in a place to compete. But here in Texas, I'll give you an example. Here in Texas, they have their Central Market brand, which is their higher end, which is designed to compete with the regular store brands, but it's actually positioned in a way to be competitive. So that's an own brand concept. But what private label is basically like if Lamar was like, hey, I want to compete with vitamin supplements right now, which I tell everybody to do, and I want to build my own brand and I'm using private label, maybe I'm using the same manufacturers are the Now brand, but I have something that's like doctor created, BMK brand or whatever it is, right? It's the same quality. It's just, you can still design your label and the look of it to be much more competitive, if that makes sense.
It does. And I guess would you say the same, like for his cornflakes example, right? Would that be if it's a factory somewhere creating cornflakes, but I got my Lamar brand, right? They ship me the bag, I put my label on it, I got my Lamar brand, I'm selling, through e-commerce. You got your Melody brand, you're selling through e-commerce. It's Taylor's grocery store in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they don't have a factory, but they kind of slap their label on. But it's kind of like it's just coming out from this place, all the same, but all we do is change the branding. And maybe mine's in the bag, yours could be in the box, right? The other ones could be in a can because they trying to get fancy and different with it.
That's it.
I love it. Let me see the comments going crazy.
And you can get fancy, you guys. That's the other thing I want you to think about is that just because it's private label doesn't mean, like, Joe took that stock packaging, right? If he was if he was really serious about building a brand, I would be like, change your packaging. But he wasn't serious about it. He just wanted something quickly. But you can change your packaging. You can change the labels. Like, you can make it fancy. It doesn't have to look, like it's cheaper, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Yep, and we got it up on the screen right now. I mean, it looks. I think like the picture with him with the kind of like the print see-through shirt is like a little different, but the actual bottling itself, it looks like it looks kind of classy. It doesn't look like anything low quality or anything cheap or anything like that at all. What do you guys think? You guys can drop comments down into the chat. Victoria said this is so good. She's definitely going to look into it. Bradley said he got it. He appreciates it. Thank you. Adiola said, this is definitely something I've been wanting to learn how to get into. Melody, so if somebody wants to know, right? Adiola says she's been wanting to learn how to get into this. Somebody wants to get into it. How can they get into it? How can they get more information from you? Or I believe you had something that we wanted to share with them as well, right?
Yeah, I do. So, first of all, you can always visit my site, privatelabelInsider.com. I have a tremendous amount of information on there. You can read about it. Now, I specialize in health and beauty, so I do skincare, hair care, makeup, body care, tampons, anything in supplements, anything in that space. But the concept is the same. So first visit my site because we have a lot of information. And then Lamar, do you have that link for the guide?
Yep, I sure do. And actually, it is up on the screen right now. They can actually see it as well. And we'll drop the link to it in the actual chat. Yep. You want to tell them about the guide?
Yeah, so there's a build your brand beauty guide. It's just a step-by-step kind of process of how you actually do it. It is specialized to beauty. So if you're doing food or whatever, it's going to be a little different, but really the concept's the same. So if you want to do, throw pillows or t-shirts, it's really the same concept. So it'd be worth reading at least to understand the process of it.
All right. I love it, guys. And that is it. I dropped the link down into the chat. And then again, if you didn't get the link for some reason, it's privatelabelInsider.com /build-your-beauty-brand. That is the page that you see right there. So you'll come right there on this page. You'll scroll down and click that red "Please send me the guide to my inbox now" button, right? I love this, right? Step 1, how to discover your niche, how to find opportunities, how to create your own line, how to create a financial plan and budget, how to execute your ideas to ignite your business. That sounds like great stuff, guys. So make sure you jump on top of it and get what you actually need in order to succeed and learn more about this so that you can push on and do what you need to do. This is awesome. All right, I think we had another question down in the actual chat. Let me see what that question was. Let me see. Wow. It's a lot going on and like people are excited in the chat. Rita said, Melody is a beast. I appreciate all that she has helped me with. That is Rita Rogers Pardo. What's up, Rita? Said you a beast, Melody.
Rita.
Hey, Victoria had a question. She said, she said again, right? She wanted to make sure we were clear on this, Melody. Victoria said, realistically, again, how long does it take to get a product from thought to market? Again, she wanted to make sure. She might have misheard you the first time. How long does it take?
Realistically, Victoria, do you have your logo? Are you an established brand? Do you know your niche, right? So where new entrepreneurs get stuck are those few things. It goes back and forth on the name and goes back and forth on the logo and the design. So that's why I say give yourself 8 to 12 weeks if that's the case. Now, when we start with clients, we start with product development first because that's the portion of it that takes the longest. But it really is 8 to 12 weeks. Now, if you're ready to go, like Joe, he was ready. He had his labels. He had his logos. You can go faster, 3 to 4 weeks. The only thing about manufacturers right now, and this is just a word for everybody, is that China has a little bit of, they're open. They're about 80, 90% open, but there's still some issues shipping in. And then the U.S., a lot of the manufacturers on the East Coast, like New York and New Jersey, are working with a very, very skeleton crew if they're open at all. And then Dallas and LA are open, but again, a skeleton crew. So that's extending the times of what we're seeing right now. But I anticipate it'll, open up and people will come back shortly. But, think about manufacturing. It's a line. Everybody's touching each other. So they're trying to reinvent how they're doing it right now.
Yeah, there you go, guys. And again, we got it up on the screen. You can see it right there with Melody's privatelabelInsider.com /build-your-beauty-brand. We dropped it in the comments. It's up on your screen right now. Like I said, make sure you go to get a hold of that. Also, Melody, just where can they get more information about you? Like, how can they find you online?
So on Instagram, I'm at BeautyBizExpert. And then, of course, Facebook, we have a Facebook group, Beauty Biz Entrepreneurs. You guys can join that as well. It's a lot of fun over there. And Private Label Insider is the website. So we're around, been online for a minute.
Yeah. There you go, guys. All right, this has been awesome. Melody, thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday, right, to come and talk about this. It was such, when I saw you post about it in the mastermind group, it was such a hot topic. I said, oh, we got to jump on and talk about this. So I appreciate you. Any last words, anything you want to leave the people with?
No, other than you guys, I'm telling you, this is the time. If y'all were my private client, I would be like, build your brand today. Do not hesitate. People who do it now, even if they feel like they're behind, are going to make a lot of money in the next 12 to 18 months. So don't hesitate.
Awesome. I love it, guys. Make sure you connect with Melody, follow and find her online. Make sure you join her communities and groups, and then make sure you get your hands on that free resource as well as she provided to you. Again, my name is Lamar Tyler, creator and founder of Traffic Sales and Profit. We are consistently here, right, giving you these interviews, updates, and information daily to make sure you have what you need while we're going through so many changes in the economy and the workforce and with your businesses to make sure that you not only survive, but you thrive through the process. We will see you back in the Traffic Sales and Profit group. Make sure you're a member, Traffic Sales and Profit with Lamar Tyler. Other than that, have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.